Hollywood's wildfires have left devastation in their wake, iconic landmarks reduced to ash, families displaced, and an entire community turned upside down. Smoke chokes the skyline, and sirens echo a city in crisis. What began as a small blaze near Skull Rock escalated into Los Angeles' deadliest wildfire disaster. But here's where it gets chilling. Was this truly a natural disaster? From whispers of directed energy weapons to rumors of celebrity cover-ups, the theories are as wild as the flames themselves. Let's dive into the truth behind that catastrophic day in January 2025. It all started near Skull Rock, a popular hiking spot above the Palisades Highlands. The location had already seen a small fire on New Year's Day that firefighters quickly contained. But on January 7th, something different happened. With no lightning storms in the area, investigators immediately focused on human-related causes, setting up crime scene tape and closing roads near the trailhead. The timing couldn't have been worse. Strong Santa Ana winds were picking up, creating perfect conditions for fire spread. Local news crews captured the initial moments as smoke began rising from the area. What makes this fire particularly interesting is its connection to the New Year's Day incident. Investigators haven't ruled out whether embers from that earlier fire sparked back up in the high winds, though they're also examining other potential causes like power lines and human activity. Bob Duvall, a fire investigator and regional director at the National Fire Protection Association, explained how investigators would approach this case. They'd look for patterns in burn directions, examine the topography, and consider wind conditions. The investigation would be systematic, working backward from the spread pattern to find the origin point. In cases like this, even a seemingly destructive fire can leave behind crucial evidence of its cause. The Palisades fire quickly grew from a localized incident into an unstoppable force. Strong winds pushed the flames through neighborhoods and across landscapes, creating what would be just one of 4 major fires ravaging the Los Angeles area. Along the Palisades fire, the Eaton Fire, Hearst Fire, and Kenneth Fire formed a devastating quartet that would reshape the region. Firefighters found themselves battling not just the flames, but also the challenging terrain and weather conditions. The fire spread so rapidly that evacuation orders came in waves, with some residents having mere minutes to gather their belongings and flee. The Palisades fire alone destroyed more than 5,300 structures, making it one of the most destructive in the area's history. The Kenneth Fire, though smaller, posed its own challenges in the West Hills neighborhood before being contained on January 12th. Each fire had its own personality, as fire chiefs described it. The Palisades fire was fast and erratic. The Eaton fire proved deadly in its intensity. The Hearst fire challenged firefighters with its terrain, and the Kenneth fire threatened densely populated areas before being brought under control. Yet, amidst the ash and loss, a resilient spirit emerges. Neighbors band together, offering support and solace, while local organizations mobilize to provide resources for those affected. The road to rebuilding will be long, but Hollywood's history of creativity and perseverance serves as a beacon of hope. As the flames subside, the community is already envisioning a future where the scars of tragedy give way to renewed strength and unity. The statistics paint a grim picture of the disaster's scope. Over 180,000 residents were forced to evacuate their homes, creating one of the largest mass evacuations in Los Angeles history. More than 12,401 structures were damaged or destroyed, ranging from modest apartments to multi-million-dollar mansions. The Eaton fire proved particularly deadly, contributing to most of the 25 confirmed fatalities. Emergency services were stretched to their limits, with firefighters working around the clock to protect lives and property. The evacuation centers filled quickly, with facilities like Santa Anita Park becoming temporary homes for thousands of displaced residents. The human cost went beyond the tragic loss of life. Thousands lost everything they owned, from family photos to precious heirlooms. Local authorities created detailed damage assessment maps documenting the destruction street by street, house by house. These maps served multiple purposes, helping residents understand the status of their properties, assisting insurance adjusters in processing claims, and aiding officials in planning recovery efforts. The financial impact reached into the billions, with damage to infrastructure alone estimated in the hundreds of millions. Behind each number was a story of loss, resilience, and the long road to recovery ahead. The fires didn't discriminate between ordinary homes and celebrity mansions. Paris Hilton's $8.4 million Malibu beachfront property, where she lived with her husband Carter Room and their 2 children, was completely destroyed. Her Instagram post captured the raw emotion. "I'm standing here in what used to be our home, and the heartbreak is truly indescribable." The destruction touched multiple entertainment industry figures, each with their own stories of loss. Milo Ventimiglia, star of This Is Us, lost his Los Angeles home to the Palisades fire. The tragedy mirrored his character's storyline in the show, something he acknowledged with grace. "It's not lost on me, life imitating art." The actor, who was expecting his first child with wife Jera Mariano, had to quickly relocate. Mandy Moore's situation particularly resonated with architecture enthusiasts. Her home, a carefully restored mid-century modern masterpiece in Pasadena, was reduced to ashes. Moore had spent years preserving the property's 1950s identity, making its loss even more poignant. She found temporary shelter with friends Hilary Duff and Matthew Coma, showing how the entertainment community came together during the crisis. The list of affected celebrities continued to grow as the fires spread. Miles and Kelly Teller lost their $7.5 million residence, with Kelly sharing a final photo of their property on Instagram just before evacuation. "We will come back stronger than ever," she wrote, also thanking the first responders who fought through flames and rubble. Jamie Chung and Brian Greenberg's house, which they often featured on social media and called their forever home, was among the casualties. The couple had shared numerous moments there with their children, making the loss particularly personal. Tina Knowles, Beyoncé's mother, lost her beachside Malibu bungalow, prompting Beyoncé to announce a $2.5 million donation to relief efforts. Leighton Meester and Adam Brody's family-friendly property, with its modern aesthetic, couldn't escape the flames either. The couple, who typically kept their private life away from public view, had just attended the Golden Globes, where Brody was nominated for Best Actor in a musical or comedy series. The timing made their loss even more poignant, highlighting how quickly life can change. The fire's reach extended to some of Hollywood's most established figures. Jeff Bridges lost his family home, a property that had been passed down through generations and held decades of memories. The loss was particularly meaningful given its connection to his parents and siblings, representing not just a house, but a piece of Hollywood history. Anthony Hopkins, who turned 87 on January 31st, spoke eloquently about losing his Malibu residence. "As we struggle to heal from the devastation of these fires, it's important to remember the only thing we take with us is the love we give." His philosophical take on the loss resonated with many fellow survivors. Billy Crystal's reaction to losing his home of 46 years captured the emotional weight of the destruction. "Every inch of our house was filled with love, beautiful memories that can't be taken away," he said in a statement. The comedian and actor had raised his children and welcomed grandchildren in that house, making its loss particularly profound. Mel Gibson's Malibu house, where he'd lived for 15 years, was destroyed while he was away, reportedly during a recording session with Joe Rogan in Austin, Texas. As investigators methodically worked to uncover the truth, social media erupted with wild theories about the fire's origins. Some claimed directed energy weapons, DEWs, were used, suggesting governments deployed secret laser technology to ignite the flames. Others insisted the fires were part of a plot to clear land for smart cities, or, even more bizarrely, connected them to Sean Diddy Combs' legal troubles. But the reality was far more grounded. Real investigators focused on electrical transmission equipment from Eaton Canyon for the Eaton fire, while the Palisades fire investigation examined whether embers from the New Year's Day fire had reignited in high winds. Fire investigator Bob Duvall explained their systematic approach, studying burn patterns on trees, analyzing wind direction, and examining topography to trace the fire's origin. Misinformation researcher Abby Richards noted why conspiracy theories spread. "The more emotionally overwhelming an event is, the more likely we are to see people creating theories to cope and feel in control." Meteorologists debunked claims about weather manipulation, explaining that cloud seeding wouldn't work in LA's dry conditions. The investigation continued methodically, away from social media speculation. Between 1992 and 2012, 84% of U.S. wildfires were human-caused, giving investigators a framework for their research. They examined power lines, human activity near Skull Rock, and other potential ignition sources. Despite popular belief that fires destroy all evidence, investigators often find crucial clues in the aftermath. As one investigator noted, a fire may hide some evidence, but it also creates a lot of evidence. This methodical, evidence-based approach stood in stark contrast to the unfounded theories circulating online. From dangerous conspiracy theories to the raw reality of destroyed homes, the LA fires have left an indelible mark on the city. What do you think about the various theories surrounding the fires? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth coverage of the biggest events.